Comrades, I want to welcome you here today as we gather to remember our patriot dead, the generations of brave Irish men and women who sacrificed life and liberty in the name of Ireland. And I particularly want to welcome the families of the patriot dead. We thank you for your dignity, your steadfast support. We owe you a debt of gratitude. Belfast is a city of a proud Republican legacy. Its history is one of rebellion, of struggle, and of unyielding sacrifice. It is a city that has long played host to resistance from United Irishmen, Henry Joy McCracken and Wolfe Tone at Cave Hill, to the movements of Connolly and Markovich and the founding of the Fianna. It is a city that the likes of Mairead Farrell, Bobby Sands and Kieran Doherty, to name but a few, have been proud to call their home. It is a city that has never been afraid to take on the weight of an empire, and it is a city whose countless brave sons and daughters we owe so much to. For many of them, this is their final resting place, and today, on Easter Sunday, in the company of their family and friends, we honour them, we commemorate them, we celebrate their lives, we salute the memory of the men and women of Aubrey and Erin who gave their lives for Irish freedom. Volunteers who were proud of their Irish republicanism, and we are immensely proud of them. This year of Hurricane, like all years, we have lost comrades along the way. We grieve for them, we remember them, and we pay homage to their legacy. Among them, our friend and comrade, Martin McGuinness. On the 21st of March, Bernie and the McGuinness family lost a husband, a father, and a grandfather. Derry lost a son, Ireland lost a patriot. Martin was Republican to his core, an inspirational leader whose achievements have not just been recognised here at home, but right across the globe. While his passing leaves an unspeakable loss to Irish republicanism, his legacy shall live forever with us. Because we are stronger because of Martin McGuinness. Our country is in a better place because of the time he spent with us. And today, we are closer to the Irish Republic because of his actions, his courage, and his leadership. However, it is now up to us. It's up to each and every one to complete his work. So while we mourn his passing, and while we rightly celebrate his life, it is now the job of each and every one of us as Republicans to organise, to mobilise, and to follow in his example. That is the only fitting tribute to Martin McGuinness, and indeed the only fitting tribute to our patriot dead. Only last year, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of the 1916 Rising, an anniversary that official Ireland wanted to ignore. But in spite of their efforts, the ordinary men and women refused to forget. It was a year when we came together, where citizens from all across the island came out to honour our patriots, those whose selflessness, whose courage and unyielding dedication to the Republican cause would go on to change the course of Irish history forever. Actions which, as we know, would go on to empower people, inspire a nation, and bring a once all-conquering, all-powerful empire to its knees. Today, as we rekindle the promise of the proclamation and remember our dead, we rededicate ourselves to their cause. 2016 was a year of huge significance for Republicans everywhere. Since then, here in the North, we have fought 2 elections, and we have seen a referendum come and go. In the referendum on EU membership, the majority of the people of the North voted to remain within the European Union. But the British Tory party, setting aside the democratic vote, has chosen to ignore the wishes of the people. In doing so, they seek to abandon the principle of consent. They seek to set aside the Good Friday Agreement and impose an EU frontier on the island of Ireland. And meanwhile, the Irish government do what Irish governments do best. They stand idly by, watching from the sidelines. Well, it is time that the government in the South for them to stand up for the rights of the people of Ireland and to ensure that the North is designated special status within the European Union. They need to recognise that the people of the North are as part of the Irish nation as the people of Kerry or Donegal. In what was truly an historic election for Sinn Féin, an election brought on by the DUP's lack of respect for the core principles of equality and of respect. Red Sky, NAMA and the RHI scandal all eroded public confidence in the institutions. And unrepentant, they chose to insult Republicans, belittle Irish language speakers, discriminate against ethnic minorities, and marginalise our gay and lesbian brothers and sisters. But none of this was acceptable to Sinn Féin. It would not be tolerated, and so Martin McGuinness acted, making it clear that there would be no return to the status quo. We fought a second election and significantly increased our mandate. And here in Belfast, Sinn Féin did what many people believed was impossible, where in the west of the city we won 4 out of the 5 seats, while topping the poll in the north and in the south and increasing our vote in the east. I want to commend all of our candidates in that election. I want to commend all of our canvassers or activists and the hundreds of thousands of people who voted for Sinn Féin, who voted for a bright future. In a city once considered to be the capital of a unionist state, created for a unionist people, there are now more MLAs from a nationalist background than there are unionists. And I urge you, we want the institutions back up and running. But 6 weeks on, however, the DUP and the British government continue to refuse to listen to the people. They have failed to change their approach and to honour the agreements of the past, and so therefore talks have not progressed. And while discussions remain ongoing, Sinn Féin will not abdicate from our responsibilities. We believe that the institutions must deliver for all in society, and we need to see the agreements agreed to in the past implemented. So the Irish government, therefore, need to stand up and stand over its role as co-equal guarantors instead of sitting in their wings as they see the British government refuse to honour its commitments. Agarja, our position remains unchanged. Sinn Féin will continue to defend the rights of our citizens. We will continue to advance the peace on our island and pursue institutions that enjoy the full and unwavering support of the people. Likewise, the journey to a society of equal rights and fairness is a destination which is still to be arrived at in the South. The present cosy relationship between Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil is one which continues to turn a blind eye to the scandals in Garda Síochána and NAMA, to name but a few. Together, both parties have zero credibility or integrity. They stand for the elites while they ignore the masses. And while the crisis in housing and health rumble on, the only thing that they have succeeded in doing is to avoid an early election. Well, to Enda Kenny and Neil Martin, I say, the people see through you. Your time is almost up. It is time to let the people have their say. Because Sinn Féin has no fear of an election. Because, comrades, both north and south, the message is the same. Change is coming. And the challenge for us as Republicans now is to manage that change and to build for Irish unity. Partition is wrong. It is unjust, and its time is coming to an end. Irish unity now is very much on the agenda. But if we are to build support for Irish unity, we must need to ensure that there is a place for everybody in there. Unification can't simply be about joining two parts of the island together. It must be more than about repainting our post boxes. It must be an opportunity to build anew. Our vision of Ireland is not that of Fine Gaels or Fianna Fáils, a free state of golden circle, of conservative elites, of cronyism. Nor is it a place for the sectarianism and disrespect of some elements of unionism. Our vision is the vision of Tone and Emmett, of Connolly and Pearse, of Bobby Sands, Mairead Farrell and Martin McGuinness. We want a prosperous, united and inclusive Ireland, and we can secure and win a unity referendum. But friends, to win a unity referendum, we must demonstrate that a united Ireland will deliver economically for all our citizens. That citizens are better in a state without barriers to trade, without a border, inside of Europe, and safe in the knowledge that all of our people have a prosperous future. To win a unity referendum, we must demonstrate that equality will be at the core of how we govern, that there can be no place for poverty or injustice. To win the unity referendum, we must demonstrate that all citizens have rights, that all people will be respected, because we want a progressive Ireland where citizens are not only imaginative but generous in spirit. And that means that the British identity, which is held by a large swathe of the people, too must be protected and respected in a unified Ireland. Ultimately, I urge you, if we are to win the argument on Irish unity, then we cannot do this through acting alone. As a party, we have to grow. We have to recruit new members, train new activists, and build new progressive alliances. There can be no shortcuts. That is the nature of struggle. And while we are now stronger and bigger than any time in the recent past, there is still much more to do. But real change, however, is within our grasp. The old certainties are gone. The grip of the old parties is loosening. The Conservative pillars have been exposed for the corruption that they espouse. The perpetual unionist majority is gone, and Europe is in a state of flux. So I urge you, now is the time to build a new Ireland, a country that will honour its patriot dead, a nation for all, equal and sovereign. Until that ideal is envisaged, until we have achieved that, comrades, our struggle continues. It continues until we have created an Ireland in which justice and equality reign true. It continues until we have an Ireland in which the principles and the core teaching of the proclamation are not simply revered, but are a reality. And it continues to purge until we have an Ireland in which all of its citizens, all of its children of the nation are cherished equally. Ultimately, comrades, our struggle and the struggle of Martin McGuinness continues until the Ireland which our patriot dead envisaged is made real. One Ireland, indivisible, destined to be free. Array in the Kille, Berigi Bura, and Public Abu.